Well, fuck.
That's okay. I wanted to share something that I've been thinking about a lot in my life lately. I know that fitness and health has been a major part of my life, specifically after high school, where I definitely made a huge change in my body, going from like 220 pounds to something a little bit more reasonable for my body. How I look and how I feel about my body. And unfortunately, because I've been with this new job and everything, I've kind of a lot of that, neglected that, or I've been putting it off for other things.
It's easy to do.
Oh, totally.
It's so easy to do.
So easy to do.
Yeah.
But I told myself that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And I promised myself that I would, if I start thinking about, oh no, I don't want to do this because it's hard and I might get sweaty and it's hot out and all this stuff, I'd be at least go on a walk. So pretty much every day this week, I have gone and either ran a couple miles or walked a couple miles. I made sure that I kept that promise to myself, just to almost to like prove to myself that I can still follow through with things that are difficult.
Yeah.
If that sounds weird or not, but
it's so easy to let that shit fly, though. Especially, I feel like when you're in moments of like transition.
For sure.
It's so easy to be like, everything else is really difficult, and I know I'm gonna benefit from moving.
Yeah.
I just don't want to move. I've had a really hard time with that in the last month.
Like moving physically, as in your abode, or
no, just like different life circumstances. Like I changed job positions, and so like it was just there was a lot of change during the day. It just messed up a lot of my routines, and so now it's like a struggle to get to yoga.
Yeah.
So, which is fine.
Yoga
like
feels great.
Yeah, and I always feel great after doing literally any of the active things that I do. But like to decide that like that outweighs me like laying down and watching 7 episodes of Bob's Burgers.
Yes, that is hard to resist.
It's
though. I give you that much. I do love
and it's hard because
the burger.
It's hard because like to a certain extent, like both of them are a form of self-love.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But one of them, in my opinion, and people could disagree with this, but one of them is like a better version of self-love.
Yeah.
It's like it's got like a longer term vision, and honestly, you do need days where you relax and you like let loose. But like I've been doing it a lot. Like it's like too much, and I'm like still exhausted. Like I'm like too exhausted for having laid down and watched the. I tell
it
you,
came full
7
circle.
episodes. It's
No,
like
you did. But I think even those moments, as long as you don't feel more exhausted afterward, are very valuable.
yeah, that's the yeah. You're right. You did bring it to a good place because that's the reason that I really want to get back into like being active because I felt more energized.
Yeah.
Just in general all the time. So it's hard to keep that in perspective, though.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, I totally feel you on that. Since I've been more active, I've been wanting to do more things, and then it's less of a drudgery.
Yeah.
But I think the whole concept of just even telling yourself to do something that you don't want to do and maintaining your own integrity to yourself is incredibly valuable, and something that I don't think enough people exercise.
I shake my head in the video because it's like hard. It's like something I really struggle with.
Really?
Being an adult yourself.
Yeah.
You're like I know you want to do this and I know you're going to enjoy that, but like the adult in me is saying like I know a little bit ahead of that.
Yeah.
So you can't do this right now. And like you have to decide. You're like, yeah, you're right. Or you're like, yes, I'm right.
Yeah. But then we're at this weird like you have that child adult relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think people lose sight that that's still you telling you what to do, and you're in full control.
Well, and sometimes the child is right.
It's
sometimes
true.
you have to be like, no, like go fucking swing in the park for a little while.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, reclaim that. Now that I've been more committed, it's hard to indulge those feelings. So it even kind of works as a, once you get into that groove, it's easier to not do the wrong thing for you. Oh, it's super hard.
Food feels so good.
And
until it doesn't.
Yeah, well, and then it's hard to pick those things because there's a lot of people telling you what's healthy and what's not.
Yeah.
And some things that are healthy are never going to taste good to you. So why even bother spending your time and your money? Because it's going to I love grapefruit. Anyway, the only reason I felt it was even valuable to take a moment to talk about and or videotape it for anyone is because there seems to be a lack of integrity starts with not having integrity with yourself by simply not keeping your own word to yourself. And
who's gonna hold you up to
Yeah,
it yourself?
yeah.
That's a nasty feedback loop.
yeah, it's terrible. All it does is really guilt
It's like
trip you.
it's like shame.
It
isn't
is.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a
And then you feel bad
terrible
about
place
like
to
not
be.
doing it. So like, why would you do it in the future? Because then it's just gonna be like, well, you didn't do it in the first place.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, is because that's where I was. Here I was feeling terrible about myself, which was only exacerbating my physical body, which made me hate.
Go even more.
Yeah. And then I
it's
felt
literally
more,
the snowball effect.
And I told myself that I needed to stop. I'm sorry about the abrupt ending. It looks like my card ran out of memory, so didn't get quite the end of it. Still new to this whole recording thing, but I think there's some good material. So hopefully if you've made it this far, you're interested and might want to continue the conversation in the comments below, and subscribe.